technically not a river at all. If you look at a map, you'll see that the north end, which we're going to head up towards, is open to the Long Island Sound, which is a branch of the Atlantic Ocean, and the south end is open to the upper New York Bay, which is a branch of the Atlantic Ocean. This is ocean water. This is not river water. This is salt water. We're at sea level here. We got tides here in these rivers. Rivers don't have tides. Sometimes the current is going one way, sometimes the current is going another way. Rivers flow in one direction. So what is this? What are we on? What is this? This is actually a tidal strait. But most New Yorkers don't even know that. I guess it doesn't make much difference in the end. We call it a river. We treat it as a river. And according to New Yorkers, we're heading upriver right now, even though there really is no up or down to this body of water. The skyline to our right, people inside of might find it a little hard to see, but we'll see it in just a moment, is a skyline of downtown Brooklyn. Brooklyn has its own skyline, its own downtown. People don't realize how big Brooklyn is. If Brooklyn was its own city today, it would be the fourth largest in the United States. And they say by 2020 it'll be the third largest. Right now the population of Chicago is just a little larger than Brooklyn's. But Brooklyn is growing in leaps and bounds in a way that Chicago is not. And it is predicted that by 2020, Brooklyn's population will exceed Chicago's. Most of those buildings on that skyline are not even 10 years old, most of them. I know that number because I moved to Brooklyn 9.5 years ago after 25 years in Manhattan, and most of those towers did not exist when I moved to Brooklyn 9.5 years ago, so I always have that number in my head. And all the towers that were built in this last building boom were built for residential living. Everybody wants to live in Brooklyn today. In fact, the towers that were there before this last building boom, the ones that were built in the